Hey everybody out there, my name is Dragnix and welcome to A Song of the Myrne, What Lies Beneath. It is a 8-bit RPG, and don't mind the title because this title is reversed. The actual title of the window says Song of the Myrne, What Lies Beneath, and that's what the title of the actual game on the Steam store is. But yet, they've got this title backwards here. You know what, let's just let that by. 8-bit RPG, reviews have been positive so far. Is it worth $5? That's the price of it. Yeah, if you're an RPG fan, I could see it being worth $5. Although, if you are playing an RPG right now, I would finish that before coming to What Lies Beneath, because there's nothing truly unique about it, although there is some elements that I do enjoy of it. But I shouldn't say it's totally unique. But I'm gonna just show you, rather than me just sitting here and talking about, you know, my basic ideas, let's just show you. How about that? All right, so here is me. This is Dragnix. I am once I think I was a farmer at one point based on what my home was. So what is the story behind the RPG? Because, you know, that makes a huge difference. Well, I was happily married, and unfortunately my wife was brutally slaughtered at this point. Now I'm going here to go back to my home. You can see the blood here. And here's my wife. I haven't actually taken care of this yet. This is probably something I should be taking care of. The bruised and lifeless body of your wife is lying on the ground. Yes, it's a rabbit. Yes, your wife was a rabbit. I'm gonna find the sick bastard who did that to you, Fluffinette. Yeah. This game's humor is actually, despite some people may not like that humor right there, but the game's humor is one of its strong points. So it's the kind of humor that's not in your face. It's the kind of humor where it's sort of situational, like looking at an item and you don't expect it. And I like it because of that. It's not straightforward, like going for your sides kind of humor, but sort of situational humor that does rather work well for me in taking a part of the game. So, not over the top, but pretty good. Now you'll notice here that I am gathering items. I'm mining and I can use herbalism. Now, one of the weird parts about this game is that, let's see. Well, got it on that one. Got it on that one. Let's see if I can fail at it. Ah, there we go. Extraction failed. I gained experience. Okay, cool. You don't gain experience when you're actually successful, which is weird. But more so, I can't actually see that stat anywhere, which is a little bit weird. So if I wanted to check to see it, well, maybe if I just try, you know, bringing up, you know, mining over and over again, maybe I can level it up. Don't know if I can level it up. Don't even know what leveling up does. The game sort of is problematic in that sense. But gathering all that stuff can allow me to create items through the crafting system. This is a very Skyrim-esque crafting system. Like, for example, iron ore, iron ingot, silver ingot, I think that is. Yep. Use the bones to create nails, because that makes perfect sense. I mean, bone nails, obviously. So I can use that armor, or those items, to make armor. For example, I can use it to make a closed helmet of fine quality. Or I can use it to make an iron tiara. Or a copper ronde. So different items. Now, here's the thing though. You'll see there that the iron tiara doesn't have an armor. I know that's an armor value there, but it also has a light bulb. Let me take a look at it. Oh, you see, part of the problem with it is that if you see a stat that you haven't seen before, because there are certain stats like that, you can't inspect the item before you craft it. You either have to have an item in your inventory that may be able to tell you exactly what the portion is, or you just sort of guess and you have to make it, and hopefully it's something good. So for example, my character right now has, you know, okay, equipment power, armor value, and it's also got some armor gives a chance to hurt enemies. So a little bit of different stat there. So the crafting system is nice. I do wish though with the crafting system that they had a chance to like give you an option, like in Dungeons of Dreadmore, to filter out things that you can't make. Because right now, none of this stuff really matters to me. And I really don't want to go through trying to figure out exactly what I can and can't make. A little bit of a problem there, but you know, it's just a little bit of a problem. All right, so let us go and battle stuff. Let us go fight. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I need to go here. I think I need to go to the graveyard, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at my quest yard. Oh, no. I need to go to... on my main quest of revenge here. Now, part of the thing with this game is the questing system. So you saw there I brought up the questing log. Well, what does that exactly mean in terms of, like, what quests that you can take and what quests you can't? Well, that's the interesting part. So you take a bunch of quests, and you don't get waypoints for them. This is very old school in terms of, here's a quest, here's a basic idea of what you need to do to go on them, and that's it. So, for example, there was a point where I needed to find a cat. Now, I had run across a cat early on in a different dungeon, because it doesn't really necessarily tell you which way to go in terms of dungeons, but okay. And I completely forgot where it was. Now, instead of having a waypoint marker, I actually had to go and look around and actually find the cat. So that actually works well for me. I like that explorative portion of the game. Now, some people may not so. And so I do think that this game does sort of gonna appeal to a different kind of audience. It is not gonna lead you by the hand. You will get frustrated at certain points where it's like, what do you want me to do? For example, let's go here. I need a key to activate this obelisk, so I can get this third part of this portion to go down that ladder. There's not really any clue into where I need to go. I'm just gonna need to wander around the world to figure out exactly what I need to do. And that sort of sucks, to be honest with you. I don't know exactly what it wants from me. Now, on the other hand, I get to explore the world, and there are a lot of little side quests that, you know, I can go on that do change up the gameplay a lot. Pretty cool. All right, let us go back out and let us go and try to find exactly where we need to go. And do I need to go over here? All right, combat. Let's talk a little bit about combat. Combat is basically basic and straightforward. Now, you see there, I've got my items down here. I have a sword and shield on right now. And so, basic melee attacks. Now, I do have magic capabilities when I level up next. I was able to get it via a quest, but right now I don't really have any magic spells, although I have a physical spell. You'll notice up in the corner here, there is health, the blue bar being mana, and then there's the yellow. Yellow being sort of a physical trait of endurance, which that's what like the health icon there tells me, and I've turned into a frog. Ribbit. All right. There we go, take him out. So combat's pretty straightforward and simple. Now, what I will say though about the combat is the problem with, I think part of the problem with my take on the combat is that it, how do I put this? The combat is lacking in terms of interaction. So like you hear those like sound effects in terms of like, you know, people attacking, like that little swipe. But when it comes to hitting the enemy, that's where things go a little bit different. Like you see there, I killed that thing, but no sound effect for it. Like a death sound, like, okay, it's really dead. There were actually moments where I thought I killed something. Nah, didn't. Sometimes the enemies also blend into the environment, which in an 8-bit game like this, sorta is weird. Because it's like, oh, it's green on green. All right, mining more here. Now, this game does get back to the basics of action RPGs, and I do enjoy it for that. I mean, it's a simple, it's not, you know, over the top or anything like that. It just gets back to, hey, smack an enemy with a sword over and over and over again. Now, I will say this, though. Part of the 8-bit style problem is that it does include some mechanics that are a little bit more progressive for an 8-bit platformer. I always want to say 8-bit platformer. Progressive for a RPG of an 8-bit era, but the animation doesn't hold well. So let me try to kill this guy here before I go forward and show you exactly what's going on. Obviously, I'm using this circle technique just because I can run around circles in my enemy. All right, so there's a parrying mechanism in this game if you use a shield. Let me show you. I'm parrying. Now I'm not. Now I am. Now I'm not. It moves 1 pixel over. In the middle of battle, I don't know about anybody else, but that's hard to see for me, exactly what's going on. And I think that's a major problem. It's like, okay, it's hard to tell what exactly is going on. things like Dungeons of Dreadmore, or I always use Dungeons of Dreadmore. I need to do a video on that because I love that game. Realm of the Mad God, games like that. It's definitely a little bit more straightforward exactly what's going on. Now here the handle's missing, and I thought I needed the explosive expert to do something, but I think I'm missing a trigger of some sort in order to actually activate it. So, now I do like the fact that here, let me bring up here. For example, there's rope here, and I think there is an item that lets me carry more slots in terms of the abilities down here, if I remember correctly. Well, if it is there, you'll notice down here, I have a couple of slots. I do like the fact that I can equip weapons to that slot to change it over. So I can equip to my crossbow rather quickly, and then my sword and shield rather quickly. So 3, and then 2 and 1. So there we go. Cool. Works really well. So what else? Well, exploration I've talked about. Let's talk about a little bit of the aesthetic. Again, one of the things I do like about the game in terms of the way the aesthetic works is that one of the things I hate about RPGs is that, like, that armor choice. The thing is that you always want to use the most powerful armor for your guy, but then sometimes you get attached to a certain look your character has. Well, this game has a different mechanism for that. Let's take a look. So I have my iron helmet on here, but you'll notice this guy over here. That's my appearance item. So that appearance item is actually something that I can change to be entirely different from this guy. See? And that I do like, because then that means I can still keep my character how I want him to look, and I connect with him on that level, while still taking the advantage of the stronger and bigger items. And I do find that cool. All right, let's go back to the skills and stats tree. The other unique item of this game is the ability trees and stat trees. So here is my character. Here's the thing about leveling up. You get 1 stat point. Not 1 stat point for, you know, your main skills over here and 1 stat point for your skills. I mean, you get 1 stat point. So you have to make a choice. Do you either put it in intelligence and willpower, or into intelligence, or do you put it into willpower, or do you pick up a skill that you don't have? It does give a sense of, okay, I'm dedicating my time to level up this one particular thing. I'm learning to have a new skill, or I'm training to become stronger. I do like that. I really do. All right, so these are the basics of the game. Overall opinion, I'm a fan of it. I mean, it is, I think what carries it is the way that they implemented the questing system and what the humor in the game is. I mean, again, that humor is not going to work for everybody, but it works definitely for me. And I think people who appreciate off-kilter humor, like, you know, non-expected humor, or humor where you have to look at it a little bit, are really going to enjoy the game. Is it overly complicated? No, not at all. Is it fun and action-packed like some games nowadays in terms of action RPGs? Not really, I mean, compared to others, but it definitely does work in some retrospects. Somebody called it 8-bit Skyrim. I think that's going a little bit too far. It's not that complicated, but it does have elements of, you know, the crafting system in particular that, okay, pretty cool. So that is this game, Song of the Myrne, What Lies Beneath. I hope this gave you an idea of exactly what's going on in this game and what exactly you should be looking for. If you guys have any comments, leave them below. And if you want to hear a little bit more about the game, or, you know, leave a comment below if I missed something that you do have a question on, because I'm more than willing to ask them. I love the feedback when I get it and people are like, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense, or, you know, anything like that. Positive and negative feedback, let me know. I would prefer, you know, no insults, but, you know, I can take them. I'm a big boy. All right, so this is Dragnix signing out. If you like this video, you know, hit that like button, helps me out. I am trying to make a career. I'm trying to make a career of this. And if you do like the content, you know, take a look at a couple of other videos and maybe hit that subscribe button if you feel so inclined. I'm going to be doing this, you know, for at least, you know, a couple months now. And I think I'm getting a little bit better only a little. So that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and keep on gaming. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a chance, leave some feedback and comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. This is Dragnix signing off, hoping that gaming brings as much fun to you as it does for me.